I'm Zach Jelleb, and this is Opinion Under Review. As you can see, we're back in the studio talking about some of football's hottest takes with some of the best creators. We're going to be talking about whether systems and tactics and players and talent is more important, whether VAR is ruining football, and of course, with the World Cup coming up, are we club over country?
Gareth Bale's an idiot then, isn't he?
No disrespect, he's done it everywhere but Tottenham.
And he's I'd rather Albion win a throw-in than...
No, shut up. This is Opinion Under Review. All right, we're kicking things off with systems matter more than talent. Who would like to come first? Luca. Come on then. Welcome. The statement, systems matter more than talent. Where are you sitting on that?
I think it's a thin line, but I agree with it mostly. I think systems are more important than talent. There's a few examples I can give. Of course, PSG, when they had Neymar, Messi and Mbappe, arguably the best front three of all time on paper, never won anything with it. They had to sacrifice a few players. And actually, a great example is Antonio Conte. I think he's the best manager that elevates individual players who are quite considered average or below par.
Scott McTominay's doing pretty well.
Players, Scott McTominay, but even like Victor Moses, no disrespect, Zappa Costa, at Juventus, Alessandro Matri, like he elevated everyone. With his system, we saw the best out of certain individuals that were never considered some of the best in the league in their position. But of course, having no talent in your team, you're going to struggle to win. But systems in general are the most important thing.
Do you think, sorry to interrupt, Zach, do you think the Jurgen Klopp, you know when Liverpool was smashing everyone? I made a statement a few years back that Liverpool are a great team with average players.
But there's Salah,
I was going
to ask you, like, so you believe it was the individuals or do you believe it was Jurgen Klopp's
system? I think it's both.
System?
Because I think those players suited his system, the Gengen pressing, the pressing from the front, the perfect transition football. Like, he would not have elevated those players to the heights that they got if they didn't play that super effective transition football. I think that Liverpool team is arguably the best in transition I've seen in the Premier League.
So do you think those players...
Who's a better player, Scholes or Henderson?
Scholes.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Who would be better in that system?
Henderson.
There you go. Exactly.
Because the system overrides the individual talent. Like the Galacticos.
But is there an argument?
I agree with that.
Is there an argument to say though that it depends who the talent is? Manchester United's, when Wayne Rooney was playing in that side, the way for Man United to play was to get the ball to Wayne Rooney.
No, Rooney sacrificed himself for Ronaldo.
In Ronaldo's case, but when Ronaldo moved on, it was all about Wayne Rooney.
Perfectly, because everyone else worked harder for him to be platformed.
For sure. But again, the system's being made for the talent. You know, if there is no Ronaldo in that system, if there's no Rooney in that system, then that's not the same system.
You need special players. You need special players to make the system work in the first place. You can't have 11 Jordan Henderson.
Real Madrid counteract everything that you've just said.
Exactly,
because they sacked a manager who was arguably their most successful in terms of win rate, in Alonso, because the system was crap. And Bale said himself, all you had to do was just manage the egos. Let the talent be the talent, and they are the most successful and the biggest club in world football.
Look at when Zidane was there. Look at when Carlo Ancelotti was there. He's not sitting there making...
It didn't work, did it?
The Galactico era, for sure. But eras post that have definitely worked.
If we remember clearly, Isco benched Bale because of the system. Because Isco platformed that Madrid team to a better extent.
Gareth Bale's an idiot then, isn't he?
BB, jump up. You're probably a little bit more onto where look, I think we've all agreed that it's a bit of both. But it's about which one is the dominant factor, I think.
Yeah.
You've got arguably one of the best managers, if not the best manager of all time, in charge of your club, who has brought in many a system. Do you still think that it's the players that have made that perfect for you guys?
When he won the Champions League, his first Champions League in English football, he needed Haaland to score 52 goals and 53 league appearances. That's individual brilliance. The system gets you to a certain... Can I finish the point? You get to a certain level, and you need De Bruyne to do special things. You need people to score goals in the finals to get you over the line. Arsenal have a great system. They get to a cup final against Man City in the League Cup. The system's nowhere near good enough because they don't have individual brilliance. Gyökeres had 3 touches all game.
Then they're going to win the league.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
But
I'll ask you a question. In the League Cup final, if they had Thierry Henry up front instead of Gyökeres, just one example, just one slightly better player, would they have won the League Cup?
Well, he's not big.
No, they would have a better chance.
No, because they couldn't get the ball to him because the system didn't work.
I'd rather have better players and a better system,
Because Kepa couldn't get the ball out.
I'd rather have better players and a better system every day of the
Your
week.
best
It's an easy
player went
debate.
off injured in the final and you still won because the system outweighs the individual talent.
Brilliance from Rodri all season. That's why he won the Ballon d'Or.
Lads.
That's why.
All right, let me tag out Boovie. We're going to bring in Ollie and then I'm bringing in you, Steve. Let me do Ollie quickly first. Go ahead, matey.
This is actually quite a pertinent argument at Palace at the moment.
Okay.
First of all, stop laughing. Second of all, I'm not sure if you're aware, but we won the FA Cup last season.
No,
I don't really like talking about it.
I had no idea.
But Glasgow got asked in an interview recently about how a lot of the fans aren't happy at the moment because we don't have the maverick attackers that we're used to having. So like Eze, Elise, Zaha, etc. And us Palace fans want to see those talents.
Yeah.
And he basically said, like, well, if they were so good, why were Palace always in the relegation zone? I won them the FA Cup last season with my system. We win that cup partly because of the system.
Yeah.
Like, the way we scored against City, I've seen us score that goal a million times. But we also won it because Eze scored a screamer in the quarterfinal and in the semi-final.
So if Eze wasn't playing for you, do you win that cup?
No.
So would that not suggest that the talent is more important than the system?
We don't win that cup without Glasgow's system either. Because I think offensively, talent matters more. I think defensively, system definitely matters more. Like
and what matters more than
for Palace, because we've been talking about all like the biggest teams in the world, it is all system based. But if you are to break through into that top, that's where you need the brilliance. So Newcastle, for example, we've lost our best player, the rat himself, Isak, and all of a sudden we're terrible. So, but it's the system that is what platforms. So I argue that. I feel like if you're a lower team, to be able to fight against the people who have the best players, it's all about system 100%. But if you are to break into sort of trophy-winning space, you need to have like an absolute star player.
Do you think your system won you the League Cup?
I think no.
Oh, do you think Isak was the main reason that you won that?
The reason that Isak scored so many goals with Newcastle was the system and the way we facilitated.
Or is it because he's an incredible
No. Like Slot said
Which one is more?
He's the iPhone. Jacob Murphy was the charger. He took it away and now he's useless. But the reason why Newcastle are terrible now is we don't have that focal point. So we do have a system that no longer works because we've lost that brilliance, and that's why we fell down the table, and that's why Palace are a bit useless now.
Oh man, you're not showing
I'm going to
us
swap
right
Steve
now.
in because he's desperate. Tag him in. WWE, welcome. Steve, go ahead.
First of all, boys, there's a bit of the chicken and egg thing going on here.
Yeah?
Like system, players,
Yeah.
so let's not get carried away. But what I will say as a West Ham fan, I've had both. I saw an incredible team with individual brilliance throughout get relegated. I then, years later, saw a David Moyes who had a great system. It was boring. But with that boredom of the system, we had a maverick in Declan Rice. And he was pushing us now towards the top six, not the big six.
Bowen as well, would you say?
Bowen as well. We had a couple, even Kudus in one season. But it was definitely Declan. If without Declan, we would be where we are now this season. But with Declan, we was pushing and we won that conference. So I've seen what a good system with an individual can do.
But, okay. I know what you said about chicken and egg. Which one did come first? The chicken or the egg? Which one is more dominant, the system or the talent?
I'd say, listen, system matters. Okay. System matters, and system can take you so far. It can make you hard to play against.
For consistency, a system matters.
Yes.
So, sorry, Steve, did you call it Rice have Maverick, by the way?
One, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What? Is Bruno a Maverick?
Of course he is.
Okay. Okay. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. But I don't feel like you've given the answer here because I don't think you did. So would you? So if I said to you, system matters more than talent, you would say
yes, because West Ham got relegated with the
with the individuals,
Carrick, Defoe. Like I can go on and on.
Yeah,
Sinclair. Like, and then when we had a dead team. Which, by the way, I love Souček and a few of the players we've got, but they're average.
Yeah, for sure. In comparison,
the best football results that I've seen with West Ham. You know what I mean? So definitely system matters, but you got to have a bit of talent. For
sure, with a sprinkle of talent. Okay,
Vincent Kompany.
George, jump up as well because I do think there's an interesting conversation about Spurs. Harry Kane leaving, looking at the talent that's in the side right now, but with no system.
Yeah, I mean, obviously seeing it firsthand with Spurs, I think obviously Pochettino's system was great for us, a great attacking football. But I think as we've seen sort of over the years after that era, I think Kane and Son in particular have sort of papered over the cracks for the rest of the team and sort of brought the talent, like their talent made us good. Like we got top four with Dyer and Longley at centre-back next to Sanchez. But that's because, again, like Conte's system sort of brought them up to that, like we were saying before, got them up to that level and played well. But sometimes world-class talent takes you above the edge. And I think a good example is Kompany. I think Kompany's system with Burnley in the Premier League was atrocious. It's almost the opposite to what Steve was saying. It didn't work because the players weren't good enough. But that exact same style of play, moved it to Bayern with world-class players, all of a sudden they're one of the best teams in Europe. I think it will come in cycles again, like we've seen with football in trends. I think right now, system is most important because it's like a chess game. Everyone's trying to do little things like, can we get better long throws? Can we do this, that, and the other? You're now going to need that extra level of talent, that extra level of brilliance, where it's like a Cherky or something like that, to unlock those tough defences.
Or a corner.
The system is more popular now. Like managers with a philosophy. Almost regardless of whether the philosophy is successful or not, managers with a philosophy are seen as being progressive, noble, exciting, and employable. There are so many examples. Ruben Amorim at Manchester United, he got the job because he had a philosophy and kept the job for far too long because he had a philosophy. I think Luca initially made a point about Antonio Conte, and I think that is a perfect example. If you think about that Chelsea side that won the league, I don't think there's ever been a more pertinent, accurate example to show that it was a manager. Like Chelsea won the league.
Who was the player that comes on against Arsenal where he goes like this?
Which is great. He got to top four, which is fantastic. And that was the system. But when you need to break that next barrier to get the first second, you need then...
And
that's winning major titles.
He
won 3 in a row at Juve as well, didn't
and
he?
he also won the league with Inter in his second season, won the league with Napoli in his first season, taking them from 10th to 1st.
And Chelsea 10th to 1st.
So he's done it, no disrespect, he's done it everywhere but Tottenham.
And it's always successful. Like people will tell you that it went wrong for Conte in that second season, but it's a bit of a myth. Like we won the FA Cup. We beat Jose Mourinho in the final.
I'm going to contradict myself here now, but I guess the Brightons and Brentfords have proven that the system, in terms of the club as a whole,
that's the day
is more important.
For them to break through, for them to ever break through.
But that's because they stay the same type of manager every time.
Yeah, true.
Brighton replaced with the same style of football every time.
I think we're going to have to agree to disagree, arguably, on this one. Let's move on to the next one. Now, this is something I've got a big opinion on. VAR is killing football. Who would like to take the chair? Cody, come on. Come on, mate.
Hey, honestly, I'll be honest with you, man. VAR is a waste of time. I hate VAR.
Why do you hate it, Gordon? Why do you hate it?
Put it this way. It still gets things wrong. All the time. I see Amad Diallo get ambushed in a box. Players are not even trying to get the ball.
Where's the just a Man United thing?
Wrong shoot. They look at it and tell me it's not a foul. Like, how? We all know it's a foul.
I like VAR. I'm a fan of VAR. I think VAR is a good thing. We are Chelsea fans. We disagree on a lot of things, Rory. We disagree on a lot of things. But VAR, for me, the actual concept of it is good.
Okay.
The issue is the people running it.
Yeah.
And that's where I think we actually probably are on the...
But it's not going to change.
You think VAR shouldn't exist, but why? Do you not get... there were just as many annoying moments pre-VAR where you would learn about someone being offside.
Man United fan.
Maybe that's right. Maybe that's right.
I want to small, but listen, the thing is, I feel like if it's getting wrong anyways, you might as well just take it away.
But why should we not improve it? Like the whole point in VAR is that I think we want decisions to go right. Sometimes, like for instance, you mentioned Amad Diallo, right? Unfortunately, that's football. Football's subjective.
No, but bro,
like,
even
you might think it's
that's a foul, though.
But sometimes it's not. Like with a foul in like a moment in the box in a penalty situation, sometimes it's a subjective decision where you've got to accept, as the referee or as somebody else, they might look at football slightly different to you.
But I don't see how 4 men or 5 men, how many men it is, can look at that and say it's not a foul. If someone's like putting someone in the box or clamping it or handball.
But this is where I think your issue is referees.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's your issue. Because if referees are doing it right, you would look at VAR and go, actually, they've given the foul, they've given the penalty, they've given the foul, and you're okay with that. Your issue is actually referees. Like the statement should probably be, refereeing in England is killing football.
Okay,
that's where I think you might be finding it.
You just hate when you score a goal, you celebrate, and then it's chalked off.
But don't you love it when they score and then it's turned around? And you go,
back in the days, we all got wrong decisions back in the days. Like no one really cared.
You got a lot of decisions. You know, I definitely got a lot of decisions as well.
As a Fulham fan, like I've seen us recently with obviously Tom West Brom, like in the Championship. I enjoyed going to those games more, not just because we won every week, but because your goal goes in and you're just with your mates celebrating.
You know what I mean?
Whereas now you're in the stadium.
You won every week as well. Probably definitely helps.
Won 7-0 3 times the same season. But it was just that for me. And the issue is, you say, oh, it's the people using it. Who's going to use it? They're not going to ask us. Like, they are the most powerful. Is there anything more boring than watching 4 people discuss whether someone's elbow's onside or offside for 5 minutes? Just give the goal.
But that's where the issue is. But again, that's like the ruling of how an offside line is called. The guys that make the decisions are so like up in their own heads all the time now because they know every decision is going to be so scrutinised.
If you think the problem are referees, what you're doing with VAR and supporting VAR is saying let's bring more,
giving them more
power
power
into the game. You're saying like referees are bad, let's get more of them involved.
Yeah, let's ref more.
No, I'm saying we need to improve the referees.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's one
The
decision I deal with. There's four
problem that you have with that is you get a situation where it's subjective. So why are we going through the rigmarole of VAR to have a subjective decision? You might as well just let the bloke on the pitch decide.
But how many times have we sat here before? Ghost goal. You know, years ago for Chelsea, Liverpool. Sure, okay, yeah, that would happen. But how many times have we been here where somebody has been fouled and been given a red card that wasn't a foul, it was a dive? Or how many times have we been here before?
Exactly. It's nice.
Is it? No, get it. It happened for you a lot. That's why. It happened a lot for you.
So don't say
happened a lot for you. Anybody else want to jump up? Go on, Lewis. Well done, Kofi, mate. Well done. Lewis, where do you sit on this, mate? Because I feel like you've been opinionated over VAR over time.
I think these are all the problem, all yous are the problem. It's actually, do you know what? VAR's
include yourself in this.
I know, I like VAR. I think it has problems, but it's...
By the way,
does anyone disagree?
He used to despise VAR.
I did.
Until they played Villa, and there was a few crap decisions. the game they actually won, by the way, and now he's for it.
Go on.
I survived 45 minutes without VAR before thinking this is the worst thing ever, because referees, number one, we're sitting about improving referees for when they can see the decision, and the way to improve that is by just taking away slow motion cameras and making them do it on the spot. They're useless. They're worse than they've ever been. And I don't think I'm the only one here who can surely admit it has improved since they first brought in
Disagree.
Yeah,
it's getting better. And there are mistakes one way or the other.
We're talking about
so for me,
now.
it does bring out the bit I don't like is where they're getting a bit too involved and you don't know if you can celebrate a goal. But unfortunately, that's just like part of the giveaway. I'd much rather that than be knocked out of the cup when we shouldn't be knocked out.
That's football. What do you mean part of the giveaway? That we're giving away part. The soul of the game is to celebrate euphoria in the moment. If Harry Kane scores in the World Cup final and we're worried about VAR, that is by definition.
How about in the World Cup final, someone scores against us and they're offside, but there's no VAR?
I'd rather VAR gets scrapped and England win nothing for us.
Do you remember?
He doesn't mean that. He doesn't mean that. He doesn't mean that.
Right, do you know what
What are you talking about?
There was a recent game, I saw the referee, he's looking straight at it, it's a penalty. He's looking straight at it.
And they don't give it.
He knows, he knows it's a pen.
Got the back. But he knows he's going upstairs.
He does 3 minutes or 4 or 5 minutes, then he comes back, then he gives the pen back. He knew it was a pen.
That was the issue in the Newcastle Villa game. By the way, why they didn't have VAR in that is mental to me. But the reason the refs were so bad in that game is because they're so used to having the confidence.
So I would agree to this. I would agree to this.
So that's why, look, in our league, don't get me wrong, the EFL refs aren't the best, but it does even itself out. It honestly does.
There is no going back now. We've had it now. There's no going back.
They just need to improve the way they administer it and stop being so pedantic over the smallest of things. It was brought in for massive errors. The Henry handball, the goals, all that. So goal line technology covers that. It should be for massive decisions.
Tom, you don't want that, right?
If it's a 50-50, just go with the rest.
Do you know what? On that kind of thing, can I just ask a question? I'm not even giving my opinion here, just in terms of like football. All football fans all know the history. Is football better for the conversation and the history of Maradona's handball? Frank Lampard in Bloemfontein?
They shouldn't say. Can I say it? This argument that is such a niche that doesn't happen every week. That gets applied for the West Ham versus Bournemouth. We're not always talking about Maradona with this one-off fluke thing. Yes, that is an amazing part of history, but the game is always going to be advanced. And they're even talking about having managers the ability to bring up to objective decision. Look,
that's not football. That's not Rory, you jump up. Well done, Lewis. Well done. Well done. Clap.
I think, Jack, do you know what? I think that's an interesting thing. It's all very well trying to make the perfect game, but football to its benefit
has imperfections.
Has imperfections, and that's fine. Like, there's a lot about football that doesn't work, and a lot of the time people get upset, they go to the pub, they talk about it with their mates, and the world keeps turning.
Yeah. But what did we all say? What did we all say before VAR? God, I wish there was a way referees could look back.
I never said
I think what you can say with regard to the intention, right? With the intent, it was a great idea. I was for it. I thought this is going to be great. Football needs it. What happened in Bloemfontein was a disgrace, and it can never happen again. And then in practice, it has removed so much from the game. It was a great experiment. It was a noble experiment. It was the right thing to do. But we have now learned that it doesn't work and it takes from the game.
But can it not be improved?
No.
Like, why does the result have to be
scrapped? You can no longer do. The reason why 1 million people in England spend money and commit their time to travelling around the entire country to watch football is what are they doing? Why are they doing that? For one reason. The reason is they're junkies. They're chasing a buzz. And the buzz that they're chasing is a last-minute winner against Tottenham. That's what you're doing, right?
But do we not still celebrate it still?
No, you
really?
don't. I've been in the ground. I've waited. I've been in the ground. I haven't committed to a
celebration.
celebration.
But we still celebrate and then we go,
no, you don't.
oh, there's a VAR check.
Celebrations, mate.
No,
you're right. You don't get it. You're bang on. You do wait.
I know.
How many games do people... You go to games, you do.
He goes, Rory's correct. And he goes, I know.
What you don't get with the modern day thing, a proper celebration, and I don't know if this is because maybe people don't know. They were young, COVID, they haven't seen it. A proper celebration is when Ivanovic scored at Anfield and it goes and everything goes. Your shins are done on the seat in front. You're with people you don't know. You're on the floor. Like, it's wild. That doesn't happen.
I had that still, man. I had that. England versus Germany, Wembley. I had that.
You can't commit.
You know what, Rory? You've got to let it go. Commit, son.
But you can't
commit. Start committing.
Sorry, celebrating.
Go on. Jump up a second.
Man City limbs the other day against Arsenal.
Yeah, but exactly. Go on, Jensen, go on.
And when Max Dowman goes through and scores, like the limbs are absolutely all over the place. VAR is not ruining football, it's making the game fairer. Yes, you might be talking about, I absolutely think it's making the game fairer. Like,
but football isn't fair. Football's not a fair game.
Something isn't fair doesn't mean you can't chase it to be as fair as possible. Just like you're saying, oh, football's imperfect. Yeah, it might be imperfect, but just because something's imperfect doesn't mean you should stop chasing perfection.
No, unless it's better for its imperfection.
But it's getting worse. It's not, because you get so many more unfair decisions without VAR than you get with VAR. Like, you saying that's not true?
We had a lot of bad moments pre-VAR. A lot of bad moments.
Might be in the right position.
If someone could just, how many times, if you could just look at the telly, I'm literally on Sky Sports, I'm watching the game right now. You could come into my house.
Yeah, but they are doing that now and still getting things wrong. And people, and it's also, I agree, I think it just needs, it's the application of it. The theory of it and what it is should work, and it should. To me, I'm still at home going, how is this taking 5 minutes?
And the more perfect the game.
Steve, you jump up. Steve, you jump up. Well done, Jason. So I agree,
mate.
I agree.
Well done, mate. Right. So you know what it is?
Go on, mate.
I didn't really want to get up, to be honest with you, but I just wanted to.
Because he's got bad knees.
No, I wanted to.
34.
It's only 34.
George said something there, and he said the refs are relying on it too much, and I can relate to that because have you ever parked without your parking sensors?
Oh, it's terrifying.
I literally
It's new technology now.
without parking sensors. You probably.
Oh, you've changed. You don't not.
I used to be like that. So I understand. Once you get used to something, like the refs are getting used to having someone for people. It's exactly like the parking sensor.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to apologise to the refs. You know what I mean? Because it's not easy for them. It's never been easy. Now they're double expected to get it right.
As they should.
Just like in football teams, the players don't want to give it away. The Mavericks we spoke about, refs don't want to get a decision
It's
wrong
linesmen who don't
when
do
they've
anything.
got assistants.
Also, the players make it so much harder for refs now. With VAR, they sell absolutely everything.
But that goes back to my issue of the referees are awful.
What did you say?
Yeah, I was going to say
A few more. Go on, quickly.
I want to say one thing, because I do agree that I think the referees are to blame for a lot of the decisions. But one issue I have with VAR, actually, which for some reason it's not a rule, is that they can't check double yellows. Like, you can check a straight red, but
that is changing. I think that is changing. That is literally changing.
It's still not been implemented.
You're right. It changed, I think, in the World Cup.
Yeah, that's super important. So if they have changed that, that's like, there are still rules around VAR that do need modification.
Well, they're even doing corners next season.
Yeah, which, by the way, that takes the amount of times you see a blatant goal kick and they've given a corner. Can't they just go, oh yeah, by the way, that's a goal kick?
It shouldn't take long.
You say the referees are awful, this has just made their job harder. It's the hardest job to do in football.
I agree. But millions and millions of pounds are up for grabs.
If you watch the ref cams that get put out and you watch it, you're like, that is tough to do. What you've done is you took away the ability for them to go, no, that's a red card. They now have to go and triple guess it. 4 of them have to make decisions.
But they need to be right.
know what? The amount of players who stink the gaff out week after week on 100 grand a week. So what if a ref gets 2 things wrong? So what? Get over it. Get down the pub. Oh, we're so hard done by. We got one decision. Get over it.
But on the last one, do you know what as well? It's people, when you say you're anti-VAR, people think that it's being anti-technology. It's not anti-technology. Goal line tech, absolutely perfect.
Offside, you can do.
This, not offside check. I think clear the rule up makes.
Yeah, I agree. Clear the rule up.
But fine. It's the sub. It's if there's a 50-50 challenge, you say foul, I say no foul. What the ref on the pitch says
that's
is
all
the
that
fine.
matters.
Exactly.
All right. What you said about the Diallo one the other week, I reckon we'd all disagree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just subjective.
Everyone would agree that was a fair
But
play.
no,
That's
not going to make the right decision.
Because he's waiting to see what VAR
Let's end on one of the. Let's end on one of the people that started it. Lewis, you said earlier you were for VAR. What are you now?
I want VAR outliers.
Brilliant.
To the dark side.
Brilliant. Our big one. Club glory over international glory. Who wants to come up?
I'm going.
John, bring it on. I think John is the only fan here at Sports Club that's never won a trophy before. Club glory over international glory. What are your thoughts? Fulham fan.
You've landed my main point. I mean, it's different. It's different. Like, as a Chelsea fan, if you take the FA Cup over the World Cup, would you do it?
Yeah, I'll probably take the World Cup over the...
Would you take the FA Cup?
No, I would take the World Cup.
Yeah.
Take the World
So
Cup.
like 104 years my club's existed. I think we're the biggest club in the world to never win a trophy.
Yeah.
Probably. So I can recognise like the pandemonium that would come with England winning a major tournament, but for me it's different. So for a lot of you guys who support
Are you
big
not an England
clubs,
fan?
Massive England fan.
Yeah. So you are still, getting something from England winning the World Cup.
Obviously,
you haven't been alive when either of them have won a trophy.
That's true.
So it doesn't really matter. Like for you, when you've been alive, you ain't seen nothing.
It's true, man.
It's
true.
Did you win the championship?
Have you seen Harry Wilson this season, man? It's crazy. It's
But
just
what
like
I'm
a
saying
dream.
is that, so for you, would you not rather see like the whole nation unite rather than just Fulham?
No.
But why not? But why not? Why not?
Because Fulham to me is everything. I go every I've go.
Yeah, you go all the
week.
time. Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
And to experience that with even just my little nucleus of friends, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be bigger.
So would you take the League Cup over England winning the World Cup?
Yeah.
Not the Premier. You take the League.
Respect the Carabao.
They treat them
absolutely.
Can I grab Ollie here as a new member of a trophy-winning team?
Congratulations. Clubs that win trophies.
Welcome.
You don't understand.
If those don't know, what happened for Palace?
Palace won the FA Cup.
No, they did. They did win the FA Cup. Obviously, now in a position where you've won the trophy, for you, this statement of club glory over international glory, where do you sit?
I've always sat on the fence on it a bit because it's different. Like club glory is so personal. Like when we won the cup, I got so many nice messages from people who have not heard from years, being like, mate, you must be buzzing, and it feels so special. But I do think it's not the same collective experience necessarily, because I celebrate that with my friends and family who I go to Palace with. It was great, but I see my friends the next day, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
In fact, they're probably quite annoyed that I'm so happy about it. Whereas international, I don't know, there are levels to it.
What were you saying pre-winning the FA Cup? Were you saying the same?
Actually, it was probably more international.
Oh.
But I don't see a world... I love watching England, and us winning the World Cup would be insane, but I don't think it would beat Palace winning the FA Cup. But that is because it was a one-off.
Huh?
I think Palace winning the FA Cup would mean more to me, or did mean more to me, than England win the World Cup.
100%.
But that's because I've never seen us win anything. And it would go Palace FA Cup, England World Cup, everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Palace won the Prem, after that, England winning the World Cup would be above it.
You're not going to win that.
Right. Garrett, you currently obviously supporter of a team in the Championship.
Yeah, and match-going local fans, it does mean more to us. It's more of a community. It means way more. I'd rather Albion win a throw-in than England.
No, shut up.
It's all right. These big clubs who win everything. Going, oh yeah, you take a League Cup over over the World Cup. Of course we would. But after that, yes, I agree. I'd 100% rather the way the country unites. I think it's a beautiful thing. And if Albion did ever win, which we probably won't in my lifetime, ever win any sort of trophy, then yeah, it'd be. My dad was in tears when we won the Championship at QPR because he just wanted to see him win the league in his lifetime. Like it weren't the Premier League, but it's the league to him. It's still the old First Division trophy to him. So it means more to. But in terms of like England, I think in my lifetime England will win something. So 100%, I would take, but I don't think Albion will win anything. So if you offered me one, I'm taking Albion. Because that's the least likely thing.
But at least
That's interesting. But then also at the same time, I do agree, the country's the best place in the world. When
and
England
we ain't won anything since 1960.
Of course, but
if you're in the Premier League, would you change your opinion then?
If Albion win the Premier League?
Yeah, and you had more chance of getting into the FA Cup final and stuff like that. If you had a better squad already.
Would you? Yeah, 100%. If Albion had won an FA Cup, I'd say England.
Fair.
Yeah, that's
So I completely understand your guys' point of view. It's boring for you to win a League Cup.
I would have said it before the takeover, though. I would have said that. Because England haven't won anything for so long. It's not like we're Brazil fans or France fans. It's a completely different context.
I do feel like we have seen... I know technically, and it's probably because I'm an Albion fan, in my opinion, I have seen kind of success for England, getting to finals, getting to semi-finals. I think that is
success stuff.
No, it is.
It's better than it was.
Success is when we win.
No.
Do you remember what it was like before?
We didn't get to final.
How many countries have won a World Cup?
And I'll never forget the summer of 2018, the way, this is why I love Southgate, the way he made me feel as a manager. Whether his tactics, all that rubbish, I don't care. Get into that semi-final, get into that final against Spain, the run against, when we should have beat France in my opinion, the run in the Euros, they're some of the best summers of my life. Just because we technically didn't do that doesn't change it for me.
That's what football's about.
We're a big country in football.
Steve, come on, you jump in.
No, hold on, wait.
Again, West Ham fan, you saw your team win European silverware?
Mate, so I'll touch on that a little bit because this is more about the international. In fact, I'll go on what he said. So, some of the greatest summers of my life have come in England, let alone doing well.
You were there for like the 90s.
Calm down. Let's start at 96.
You were there 96. You've been there.
England win the World
Hey, HR.
And my point is, you've experienced it like kind of before, then in middle, and the after.
I want to say something important here. As a young black boy growing up in Enfield during the 90s, it was a massive divide. It was crazy. I'm getting chased and called names every day, right? But when England was in the tournament, I could walk past the pubs. I could do anything because that's everyone as a nation came together. So for me, my happiest moments during bad times came when England was playing. But then you fast forward and see my club, that's not won nothing, win a trophy. One of my happiest days of my life. Seeing Bowen go through, scored a goal, it was great. But
were you there in 1980 when they won the FA Cup against Arsenal?
So I'm.
Rory made that joke to you, by the way.
I see the greats coming, Ross. Calm down, yeah. But bro, honestly, as I say, just touching on what he said, my best summers was when England.
If we imagine, like, so you take that happiness of what you felt, what you said, one of your best days of West Ham, you take that happiness and then imagine now England have just lifted, Harry Kane's lifted the World Cup trophy.
We've been close, like you said, we've been close. Southgate's done well. I know Roars don't like Southgate, which is, it's mental that he's managed to get a nation that was always fighting within to make them play together and nearly get us there, right? So I rate him for that. But if you took my happiest moment, which actually happened, to me thinking, will Harry pick it up? What would be more important? If I go back to when Liga 72 was at the... That's nice. It's good. It was that goal, whoever it was. When we was there celebrating, bears are going everywhere, I'm getting bear in my eye. Like, and that was just to score a goal in the final. If we would have won,
that's what I'm saying.
God,
would have been dangerous.
Jesus,
take over for.
Do you know what I think the club versus country debate is an interesting one, right? And I think people generally think that if you support a bigger club or a successful club, that you don't necessarily have the passion for following England. That isn't the case. From my experience, I know a lot of Chelsea fans that follow England home and away. I've done, I don't know, every tournament since 2006, apart from Russia, I think. So I am sort of an example of that. I will always go club over country. Chelsea is more my priority. I want Chelsea to win. But I don't think that means I don't want England or don't support England. It's just Chelsea are the
Even
priority.
despite all your success as a Chelsea fan.
Yeah. You've seen everything.
I'm not going to lie, you're a bit greedy.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
By the way, Club World Cup doesn't even really count, but you got that as well.
I think most people are club over country. I think it's a kind of the natural.
That's just because obviously we follow our clubs home. It's every week. It's constant. The international is every few months, and then a tournament every 2 years. So that naturally you're going to care more about that thing that you grew up with. I've always been Albion mad, but I'm also England mad.
But if I offered you Chelsea League Cup, England World Cup.
Oh, Chelsea League Cup, obviously.
But what trophies are you like? Well, you would take the League Cup.
If you're offering Chelsea to win the League Cup or England to win a World Cup, of course it's not.
What about for Chelsea to win a third Champions League or England to win a World Cup?
Yeah, that's tricky. I think I'll choose Chelsea to win a European Cup. I don't want that to be seen as a reflection on how much I don't like England.
I've been to tournaments with you. I know you love England. I think that's really interesting. You would still choose a third European Cup.
Exactly, yeah.
You're so invested with your club,
but the only thing
day to day. Like we discuss this every minute of every working day. I focus more and I care more about what my under-21s do than watching England play in a friendly.
George, come up.
My point is more that like, I am so invested in what Spurs do, going home and away, week in, week out. I'm focusing, I'm scrolling, looking for news on absolutely everything. I'm like caring about what like the under 20. Holding on to that Europa League last year against you guys, by the way. I can still feel that now. And whilst I agree, if England win the World Cup, that moment there will probably be one of the best things ever. That feeling, in my opinion, I don't think will last as long as me saying, like, seeing Spurs win a Premier League or Champions League.
I agree.
Absolutely will.
I don't think it will last that long.
I think winning the World Cup would last for like
4 years. It would last for 4 years.
I've literally not stopped speaking about it.
If Arsenal won the Premier League and Champions League this season, you're telling me that feeling of winning both of those is going to last a short amount of time than England winning the World Cup?
I think so. I actually think so.
Hold on, you're banging on about your Invincibles 25 years later.
Hold on, I think once we win the Premier League and Champions League,
you said something. Jesse, you jump up. Jesse, you jump up. Well done, George. Well done, George.
That's what I think. No, but I think the genuinely just the night out after we win the World Cup.
You don't go home.
So I was in Wembley. I was literally at, like Wembley Way during the Euros, and I could just feel how the city was about to erupt, even if we just won the Euros. Now, we're talking the World Cup now, something that everybody watched, the entire country is watching all together. Once we win it, right, if we were to win it at that time, from London to Liverpool to Coventry to everyone is outside. I think just that night, I would just never, ever, ever forget, unless I'm too drunk.
I don't know, I reckon you might forget it.
I might not remember it.
You lot have made a point, right? So, what would you prefer, your club, the home club, or the international? Right now, I can talk from experience. I have an English girlfriend, and I also have a Colombian girlfriend abroad. And I tell you, my English, I focus a lot more on home.
That's lovely.
Luca, someone who's got maybe some different ones, right? Where do you sit? Where do you sit generally anyway? Are you kind of 50-50? What is it with Italy?
Well, no, with Italy and England, it's always been Italy because my parents are Italian. I grew up.
Parents are Italian.
No, I was born in London, right? But both my parents are Italian, and I've always watched football with my dad throughout my whole life. So he's a Juventus fan. That's why I'm a Juventus fan. I've always watched Italy with my leg off. So I've always supported Italy. But in 2018, for example, I wanted England to win it. Italy weren't there. We weren't there. I'll be honest.
You're
right there. Like I have nothing against England, right? But it's always been Italy because of my dad. But in terms of like Juventus or Italy, I always pick Juventus. Like. 100%.
Really? So, it's interesting, the debate, right? Because we've all done it from an English perspective of English clubs. From your understanding of Italy and Italian culture, would it be the same from what you're hearing?
I've spoken to loads of Italians about this. And
so if you support Napoli, you prefer Napoli to win rather than Italy? If you support Roma...
Napoli's different because, like...
They're so diehard.
It's like Scousers almost. It's a bit different, right?
And then Italy have also won the Euros recently, the World Cup, not millions.
Like, for example, my friend's a Roma fan. He would rather Italy win the World Cup or even a Euros than Roma win the Champions League.
Yeah.
But I would much rather see Juventus win the Champions League because that's what I've been waiting.
You've witnessed 2 trophies in your lifetime.
Yeah, the World Cup I don't remember, I was too young. But I was 2. But with the Euros in 2021, I remember that. It was a great feeling. But it was better when Juventus won a league title. Like for me, the next time we win the league, I know this is sounding so arrogant.
Is that also because
we haven't won it in 6 years, that will mean more than the Euros, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
but he's in that...
Would you also say you're not because you're not in Italy, maybe that...
Yeah, exactly. You don't have the collective experience.
Yeah, you don't have that experience
that's
of like
also true.
everyone being outside or going down to the pub and all the... You go down to the pub and it's just all English people, it's not all Italian people.
No, but I still... Even after we won the Euros, like when I remember going into school the next day with my England flag, my Italy flag. Or something.
That's revealed everything, mate.
I remember Italy flag just trolling my friends because it was funny, you know. But like, you're right. I don't live in Italy, therefore I don't get the full sort of parade. But at the same time, I just think maybe with Italians in general, I think the average Italian is probably more patriotic to the nation than their club. Yeah. But like my dad has always been club over country. And also, from like a Juventus point of view, Juventus fans have always felt like the federation of Italian football has always been against Juventus anyway. So there's always less of a love towards the nation.
Wow.
That's the truth. It has been.
Well, because you cheated.
my lawyer's
not keep breaking the law.
Okay, well there we have it. Guys, at home, let us know, what side are you for club glory over international glory? Right, there we have it. That is Opinion Under Review wrapped. Again, boys, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, like the video, subscribe, leave a comment on what you thought about all the opinions that were under review, and we'll see you guys very, very soon.